You're watching SBA Today. With all the latest news, stories, and advice, here are your hosts, Paul Long and Tonya Mazurek.
Good afternoon and morning, or wherever you are listening. Welcome to SBA Today for the week of November 25th, Turkey Week. Gobble, gobble. I am Paul.
Oh, and I am Tonya. Gobble, gobble. You should have wore like some turkey neck and something.
I have some natural turkey neck I can work on.
Oh my God. I'm not turning sideways now.
Yeah.
I got my orange on.
That, Madison.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into the news. Paul, what all do we have today? I think
so. We had the SBA Connect Call, which was really quick and short, and they wanted to shoot off a couple things, and it was good. They went over the MARC Loan. That, of course, all of that, we all should know everything about that by now.
Right.
I'm really curious to see what kind of results from those. I can't wait to start seeing probably towards the end of the year, how many of those we're doing and kind of all that and dollar amounts, etc. So it should be very interesting. Right. And if anyone has any facts or data on the working capital pilot program and how that's doing, I would love to see some of that.
Right.
Because a lot of people are talking about it, and I'm just hoping that there's a lot of action on that. So, but they went over the MARC Loan. They went over some of the notices that shouldn't be new to anything on there, and we'll get into some more meat and potatoes here with Tonya's.
I know. Well, because, so Paul and I always listen to these things, and I think everybody does across the board, right? And we each get different things out of them. Or one part might strike one of us a lot stronger than the other, or, it just, you jump in, which is what's the beauty of all of us actually learning from each other on here, right? Because, what I know, somebody else doesn't know, and what they know, I might not know. So anyway, but the section that really, Paul, and I don't know if you recognize this, but was with Diana Seaborn, right? And did you pay attention really to some of the things? Because she's like the lobbyist for their teams, right? The lobbyist for the backlog of getting help to get through the backlog of everything that's gone on since the 43-day shutdown, right? Yeah. She's talking about the systems. The systems are working well. It seems to be, accepting the flow, which is, 2-3 times more than prior to the shutdown. But one of the things she was talking about is she had a plea to us in the industry. Yes, she had a plea. Her plea was to sit down with your processing and closing teams, because one of the big slowdowns that they could also be seeing, and one of the things is us trying to have SBA get through this backlog of a ridiculous amount of loans. We need to be very, very cognizant of the submissions that we are putting in. One of the things she said is certain things like the compliance checks, to sit down with your team and please, these are her words, please have your team pay special attention to the accuracy of those compliance checks, because that is creating a big slowdown, and that's what they're seeing. The other thing, things like mismatched IDs, the PIN numbers, social security numbers, names. We all know 4506T, right? If you get a dot, a period off, or a comma off, it creates slowdowns, right? And they have to send it back. It doesn't get through. But one of the things she was saying was just asking if when we're submitting these through eTran, if we can just double check our work, because I think they must be finding a lot of easy mistakes to fix, that if those of us on the front end were paying attention. And now I'm assuming it's not every bank, because many have, checks and balances in place of trying to make this happen, but there's likely those out there that do not. So my guess is this plea might be to specific ones, but it's across the board. Now, one of the things she said is, in this time where you want us to spend most of our time approving loans, let's see here, and getting things to the closing table for you, we're asking you to please talk to your team before they hit the send button. I thought that was pretty pretty important,
Very
Paul,
interesting.
because
Very
I mean,
interesting.
it was crazy. I mean, the period, the comma, the tax ID, EIN numbers, social security numbers, bankruptcies, all these things that I know you submit these, right? So you're probably
Yeah.
sitting there thinking, well, duh. So there must be something else going on.
That's interesting because I'm sure they probably have quite a few false positives when they
Yeah.
were there, and so we submit an ID or something like that, and it gets cleared. Actually, my team usually does most of the e-trans submissions, but for whatever reason, I did one yesterday to kind of help them out, and it's kind of fun to go back and then be like, oh yeah, I remember how to
Right.
but I was going through there and I was paying particular interest to making sure that I wasn't making any mistakes and I was answering the questions and I was putting in the dates right. But you're right. You're right. It's absolutely, they're doing a great job clearing these things.
Yeah.
But it very well could be a garbage in, garbage out kind of situation. So
Well,
interesting.
and just like everything else, Paul, like we've talked about the pebbles and on everything that happens, right? SBA or in industry or business or personal life in general, right? If that's going in and that's slowing the system because of the amount of time it takes to go back and forth with certain ones, that's also slowing the system for those that are perfect that go in without the mistakes. So it affects everyone.
It's true.
So anyway,
that was a good one.
I just thought that was really interesting.
I'm glad you picked up on that because I didn't.
No problem. Yeah. Well, anyway.
Cool. Well, another thing that they shared, and I thought it was actually very fascinating and appropriate, is they came out with a 7A working capital product options chart. And you're like, whoopee, Paul. Well, I'm telling you, I've always thought, what do we need? More working capital programs? Like, don't we have enough? Well, there's reasons for it, right? And this image definitely shows that. If you have an open revolver, you can use MARC, seasonal CAPLine, SBA Express. I don't know, Madison, if you can pop that up. And then you have, fixed asset leverage, how you're doing that. We got the MARC term loan, SBA Express, working capital. The bottom line is it's based on how much monitoring needs to happen, right? Because we all know in SBA Express, it's an open revolver. Good luck, don't screw it up. But as you keep going along through the line, you got fixed asset leverage, you got borrowing base, and then you have it based on the project. I thought this was very helpful. I printed this out, stuck it on my board because this was good information. So thanks, SBA. I thought that was a good one.
That is.
They also came out with their 2026 call schedule, which is out there. But what I thought was really cool, and a big standing ovation to SBA for this, and that they have a new call that they're doing. And they are going to be focusing on transaction structures and credit. Yeah. Right. And so it's called Connect Quarterly Update. And it's going to be taught by them about different structures in credit. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Those dates are out there released as well. In February, May, August, and November. But this would be something I'd be having any of your underwriters, credit analysts on the call, even salespeople.
Brokers.
I think this is going to be well done.
Brokers.
Oh my God, right?
Think about it. This is for more than just those of us directly in the SBA doing direct deals. This is also for those that are looking at potentially, borrowers can go on the darn thing and figure out what it is coming down the line and learn if they want to. But the brokers, I find this could be really helpful for them of what it looks like for us trying to structure, because we're always getting that pushback to a degree of, well, why can't you take this as an add back? Why can't you structure it like this? What do you mean you can't? It's like, so that's going to be cool too, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I love that they're spending some extra time on that because that is common. So
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Also, let's see. So this kind of goes hand in hand with what I said earlier, right? SBA was told to lay off employees, that they could get their jobs back It then rescinded that offer a day later. Oh my God, this just made me cringe, man.
I had to read this article 4 times to be like, who's on first? Who's on second? Huh? Who? It hurt my brain.
I feel like that every day in this industry, Paul.
That's why I gave this one to you.
Well, of course you did. Of course you did. Because he likes to do this, right? All right. So the article details a troubling episode at the Small Business Administration, SBA, where employees laid off due to budget cuts were unexpectedly told that they could return to work, only to have that offer revoked the next day.
Right.
Take your lunch pail in, right, and just move it out. I just can't even imagine what's going through their minds. The reversal stemmed from a miscommunication between SBA leadership and HR, with some officials believing there was enough funding to rehire, while others flagged compliance and budgetary issues. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see both, but goodness gracious, that's a huge...
You're playing with people's lives, man.
Yeah. Employees were left confused and frustrated. I mean, shoot, look at us. We're confused and frustrated. And we don't even work there.
Right.
Anyway, having rearranged personal plans based on the rehire notice. I mean, duh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to come from that.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there's lots of frustration that happens in any government agency, not just
in any government agency, in any business, in any personal life. There's always this. But I just was, I'm like you. I was just totally surprised with that. So anyway, all right. Anything else that you've got, Paul?
That's a wrap. It was kind of a.
Me with. I know you. My goodness.
Yeah. No.
Awesome. All right, then. Don't forget, we are live on Tuesday mornings right here on LinkedIn and YouTube and any platform where you get your podcast. Check out our previous episodes, as well as our sister show, The BDO Show. If you have questions, connect with Paul or I on our personal LinkedIn pages. We would love to speak with you. So that would be awesome. Share with your colleagues if you find what we do valuable. Maybe they will as well. Enjoy your week. And if no one's told you lately, we appreciate you and think you're pretty awesome. So go have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving, all.
Thanks. See ya.
Gobble, gobble.